So I've been scrolling through the comments and checking the feeds, and there are a couple of items polarizing the league right now. One is Fernando Mendoza. The other event has something to do with someone's head coach and never mind. I'm leaving that alone. If you missed it, Daniel Jeremiah was basically saying the Raiders should follow the Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers path by letting the number one pick, Fernando Mendoza, sit behind a vet like Kirk Cousins and learn the ropes. But Charles Davis, he wasn't having it. He was basically trading blows with DJ on the broadcast, arguing that Mendoza is a day one guy. Charles went on record saying he thinks Mendoza starts at least 12 games this year, but honestly, he thinks the kid should have the ball from the first snap. I'm riding with Charles on this one. You don't draft a guy like Fernando Mendoza to hold a clipboard. Today, I want to talk about why Charles is right, why the redshirt year is a trap, and why I'm personally a believer in the baptism by fire approach. But first, I want to play you the clip I found on Yahoo Sports just to get everyone on the same page.
My argument was very simply this. How many times have the two of you seen a quarterback drafted, a GM, team president, owner go to the podium and tell the world, we're going to bring him along slowly, we're going to redshirt him, we've got a veteran here, and by game 3 he's starting.
All right, so after hearing that, I'm not going to lie. I kind of understand where he's coming from because the NFL has changed a lot when it comes to rookie quarterbacks. 10 years ago, most rookie QBs sat for at least a season. Teams wanted guys to slowly develop, learn behind veterans, get comfortable with NFL defenses and all that. Now, teams almost expect these dudes to come in and play immediately. I mean, look around the league recently. CJ Stroud looked comfortable almost instantly. Jaden Daniels came into the league way more polished than people expected. Even Bo Nix looked way more NFL ready than a lot of people gave him credit for. Quarterbacks today are just more prepared than they used to be. Private QB coaches, 7-on-7 football, college offenses, throwing the ball all over the field. These guys are basically training to become NFL quarterbacks from high school now. So now the question becomes, is Fernando Mendoza actually one of those guys? Or are people getting a little too excited because he just won the Heisman and got drafted first overall? Because the resume is already ridiculous. The man transfers from Cal to Indiana, wins a national championship, throws 41 touchdowns, completes over 70% of his passes, and now Vegas completely rebuilds the franchise around him. That's a lot of pressure immediately. And honestly, I think that's the biggest thing people underestimate with rookie quarterbacks. It's not always arm talent, it's not athleticism, it's processing speed and confidence, because once NFL defenses start disguising coverages and changing looks after the snap, young quarterbacks can get humbled real quick. That's why some people still believe rookie quarterbacks should sit. Patrick Mahomes sat, Aaron Rodgers sat, Jordan Love sat. There's definitely an argument that learning from the sidelines can help long-term development, but at the same time, if a quarterback already sees the field well and already processes quickly with command in the pocket, are you actually helping him by making him wait, or are you slowing down his development? And honestly, I think that's why Charles Davis said what he said. Because if the Raiders drafted this dude first overall, deep down they probably already believe he's ready. Now, let's be real for a second and play devil's advocate. We've all heard the sit and learn argument, right? It's the Andy Reid philosophy. You look at Patrick Mahomes sitting behind Alex Smith for a year, or Jordan Love waiting 3 years behind Rodgers. People see that and think, that's the blueprint. The idea is that you're protecting the kid's psyche. You don't want a David Carr situation where he gets sacked 76 times as a rookie and never recovers. Coaches like Reid or even Kevin O'Connell believe in the incubation period. In a city like Vegas where the pressure is already at a boiling point, I get why DJ is nervous. You don't want to break your $200 million investment before his first official snap. But here's where I have to push back on DJ and the protect him crowd. The league has changed. This isn't 2005. Rep gap is a real thing. If you sit for a year, you're getting 0 live bullets, you're practicing against the scout team. Meanwhile, the guys you're going to face next year are getting faster, stronger, and more experienced. When you finally do start in year 2, you aren't a veteran. You're a rookie who's just a year older. And honestly, Falcons fans probably understand this debate better than almost anybody right now because of the whole Michael Penix Jr. situation. Because let's be real, that situation was kind of awkward from the beginning. Atlanta drafted Penix 8th overall, immediately after signing Kirk Cousins to a massive contract. So from day one, the fan base was basically split. Some people thought sitting Penix behind a veteran quarterback was perfect for his development. Other people looked at it like, if this dude is your future franchise quarterback, why are we waiting? And honestly, once Penix finally started getting on the field, you could immediately see flashes. The arm talent was obvious. The confidence was obvious. The aggressiveness pushing the ball downfield was obvious, which honestly made the whole debate even louder. Because now people start asking, if the talent is this obvious, should he have been playing sooner? And that's what makes quarterback development so complicated now. And also to my fellow Falcons fans, this whole conversation probably reminds you of Matt Ryan too. Because people forget now, but when Atlanta drafted Matt Ryan back in 2008, the franchise was coming off complete chaos. New head coach with Mike Smith, new general manager, the Michael Vick era was officially over, and the head coach at the time quit on the team during the season. The organization needed stability, and instead of sitting Matt Ryan for a year, they just threw him right into the fire immediately. It worked almost instantly. That completely changed the energy around the franchise overnight. Now, obviously, Matt Ryan wasn't perfect as a rookie, but you could immediately tell the moment wasn't too big for him. And I honestly think moments like that are part of why NFL teams are way more willing to start rookie quarterbacks early now. The team buys in faster, the locker room responds faster, the rebuild speeds up. I think Vegas is probably hoping Mendoza gives them that same kind of spark. And by the way, here's some quick numbers for you data nerds like myself. Since 2010, quarterbacks who start at least 14 games as a rookie have a 62% higher chance of getting that massive second contract with their original team. Compare that to the guys who sit. For every Mahomes, there are 5 Trey Lances or Paxton Lynches, guys who sat, never got the feel for the game, and were out of the league before their rookie deal was even up. Charles Davis called Mendoza a machine because his prep work is legendary. And let's be honest about the city. Vegas was built on high stakes and bold moves. The Raiders fan base has been through the ringer. They aren't looking for a bridge, they're looking for a franchise. Charles Davis made the case that Mendoza is mature beyond his years. He referenced Terry Bradshaw and Jim Plunkett, guys who were thrown into the fire and ended up with rings. If Kirk Cousins is in there, they're playing for a wild card spot at best. If Mendoza is out there, they're playing for the future. I think most Raider fans would rather go 8-9 with Mendoza learning the ropes than 9-8 with a vet who isn't the long-term answer. Baptism by fire isn't just about the quarterback, it's about the culture of the whole organization. So I'm putting my chips on Charles Davis' side of the table. Start the kid, let him take his lumps, let him throw the picks and make the mistakes. Since 2010, the trend is undeniable. Look at the guys who were thrown to the wolves day one. CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. They didn't just survive, they redefined their franchises by year 2 because they had the live scars to prove it. Even Caleb Williams just put up 4,000 yards as a rookie. Sure, he threw some picks, but you can't tell me he'd be better off sitting on a bench watching tape. The data shows that QBs who start at least 14 games as a rookie have a 60% higher chance of success. Why? Because you can't simulate the speed of an NFL pass rush in a walkthrough. You can't learn how to handle a collapsing pocket on a tablet. Even the GOATs agree. Peyton Manning famously says those 28 interceptions he threw as a rookie were the best thing that ever happened to him. He calls it the price of admission. If he'd sat behind a vet, he never would have become what he was. He needed to see what he couldn't do to figure out what he could do. I believe the sit and learn model, the Mahomes or Jordan Love path, those are the exceptions, not the rule. They were drafted into stable, playoff-ready machines. The Raiders are building the machine around Mendoza. So, I don't want to hear about mental scarring. Don't tell me about protecting the asset. You protect the asset by letting it grow. You don't buy a $200 million machine to keep it in the garage under a tarp. That's my take on it, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you play it safe with the wait and see approach? Or are you team high stakes week 1 and letting the kid play? Drop me a comment and let me know.